Hi there, this is Pius, and I just want to talk about another example of how to use an activity diagram, specifically to try to redesign or repurpose or reuse or improve an existing product. And in this case, this is the product. You may or may not recognize this. If you're a Pokemon player, you might recognize this. This thing is, I don't know what I would call it. Maybe it's a toy, but we're going to try to get some redesign ideas using an activity diagram. So what this is a Pokemon Go accessory, and Pokemon Go is an app, an app that you play on mobile phones that uses augmented reality to catch fake Pokemon. And this is something that I got my hands on. Someone gave this to me. It's pretty expensive, but you clip this onto your belt and you press this little button here, and it's supposed to connect to your phone so that even when you don't have the game on, it finds Pokemon for you. So let's make an activity diagram for this thing. Gamers will already know how to do this. So what are some actions that I'm going to do with this thing? Well, we know from good activity diagram practice that we are going to obtain, we'll say. I'm not going to say buy because maybe it got borrowed or something. Obtain device, however you can get it. And after I get this thing, you might input a battery or input a power source. And so I know there's a coin cell battery in there. And then you might store it because you might not play the game right away. Store it. Or you might immediately play with it. So I could just say play with it, but playing with it constitutes several different steps. One is communicate with the phone. Sorry, I need to ask, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to connect, as the user, I'm going to connect the device to my phone, specifically to the phone game, the Pokemon Go app. And so I know that we use Bluetooth, but again, good activity diagram practice isn't going to get so specific. And you'll see why in a second, because we're trying to get redesign ideas, so we don't need to start out so specific. So we're going to somehow connect the device to the phone game. And in this case, you press the button and it's supposed to do it. And I know then that you're supposed to use this thing here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a mechanical clip here. So we use that to attach device to the body, essentially, in some way, because maybe you clip it onto your pocket, maybe this clips onto your belt, maybe you're just holding on to it. I mean, I could literally run around and just hold on to it the whole time. So somehow we're attaching this device to the body. And occasionally we're going to want to catch Pokemon. So we do that because this thing actually lights up. So we need to, as the user, we're going to, see signal or see messages, we might say, see signal from the device. And it's weird because it only sends signals through this LED. It's like a single light and it flashes multiple colors. And then after that, you might, I might send a signal. As the user, I might send a signal to the device. And the way I do that is by pressing it on this little button here. And eventually I'll get tired of the game, so I'll, what am I going to say? Remove device? Yeah, we'll just say remove device from body. And as the user, I know that the Niantic or Nintendo people who made this, they don't have a turn off button. So the user doesn't turn it off. I'm just going to leave that blank. And then you might go ahead and store it. And after you store it, you might come back and connect the device to that. And I'm guessing that one day we'll have to dispose of it or something like that. Dispose, or maybe, some other thing. We have to think about that. So these are our main activities that we found for this little toy. And if I wanted to make a better version of this, because I am sure that there can be a better version of this, let's break it down box by box. We look at our activity diagram and we know we could improve every part of the activity diagram. For example, the way to input power. We'll focus on that. And this becomes a central component of our brainstorming. And so you might go and start having a discussion with your design team and ask, how many ways can I input power? I don't have to input power with just batteries. I could have made power go into this little device with solar energy, maybe from the sun, maybe from the wind, maybe from some other renewable energy. And we would continue brainstorming that way. Maybe it was mechanical power. Maybe, like, as we walk, it sucks up energy from, my legs somehow. So this is a cool little brainstorming problem. What are all the different ways we could input energy here? Or what are all the ways we could connect this device to the phone? Well, right now it uses Bluetooth. That's one way. Maybe it's just Wi-Fi. Maybe it's like a cord connection. Maybe it's with fiber optics. Maybe there's some other way to do it that we haven't thought of. And then within Bluetooth, there are different ideas. Maybe you could do it with different communication protocols, or maybe you save a file to the phone, all these different things. So this becomes another brainstorming session. Obtaining the device. How many different ways could you obtain the device? This is kind of a marketing question. So I could obtain the device by getting it from a friend, like I said, or I could go over to Walmart and buy it, or I could go and get it off the internet, or I might steal it, frankly. And we might have to think about all these different issues. Maybe I should start thinking about, like, when I said stealing it, well, maybe I should think about what are ways I could prevent it from being stolen? What are ways I could, because it could be expensive, what are ways I could make it less likely to be stolen? Maybe I could think of new marketing campaigns where you could get it with an Amazon partner. Maybe I could also brainstorm about how to attach the device to the body. Maybe I don't want to use this belt clip. Maybe I want to use a strap. Maybe I want to use a magnet. Maybe I want to use Velcro. Maybe I want to use a nail. Maybe I want to use tape. In the brainstorming sessions, it's all about getting different ideas. The number of ideas is more important than the quality. And we'll talk about sorting through the ideas in future videos, but all of these boxes on the activity diagram become opportunities for brainstorming and redesign. Also, look beyond individual boxes. Look at the interactions or interfaces between our user actions. I see that, at least for what I've drawn here, it seems like we definitely have to input power. That's a bottleneck here. And then you can store the thing or immediately play with it. And I don't know, maybe we don't want this user action at all in here. Maybe we could redesign it where this always was getting power somehow, where the user didn't even have to worry about it. Wouldn't that be neat? That's another redesign idea. That solar energy idea would kind of go into that. Then I would never have to worry about this dying. I said later that we never turn this thing off, so yeah, why not make it so that we never really have to turn it on? Attaching the device to the body. Maybe there are things we can combine. Maybe when we attach the device to the body, this thing knows that I did it, and so we can combine these user actions into one fell swoop. Like whenever I attach this to my belt loop, it's already sending me signals or something. Or maybe, yeah, I'm getting confused. Maybe it should be combined with this user action. When I attach my device to my body, it automatically or I automatically send a signal to this device to start automatically collecting my Pokemon around me. But basically, you don't have to just look at each individual action and brainstorm about it alone. You can look at it as, maybe I want to get rid of some user actions. Maybe I want to add user actions that are missing. Maybe there's something we haven't even thought about how we're going to clean this device. You know, there's just different things we can do. We can use this structure, if we did it on the computer, we could rearrange it and look at it in different ways and just get a bunch of different ideas from looking at this diagram. It's very powerful for getting redesign ideas. So I hope that was useful, especially if you're a Pokemon Go player. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.